Yeah, this was not an insane game, like scoring wise. Honestly, the fact that it somehow ended over. All right, what was it? The final score was what? Over 100 points, I believe it was.
97-87.
That's what it was. Under 100 points, barely under 100, but still. This felt like you were watching basketball from the 2000s. We were literally, it was like halftime. It was under 50-50, and my girlfriend goes, like, is this a normal score? And me and, like, Luke were like, no.
It was the lowest. The Nuggets had 40 at half. It was the lowest half total for them all season.
What's good, big season? Yeah, I didn't know that. So for me, when I look at this, first off, the Suns really tried to make the Nuggets play their game, and the Nuggets still won.
Yeah, I actually, and I feel the same way about the first game of the night. I think it was more the Suns lost it and the Celtics lost it. I think they both lost it. I think the Nuggets won it. KCP's clutch, as Mr. LeBron fan knows what KCP can offer you in the playoffs, but they had 6 points in the final 4 minutes, and they had 14 fourth quarter points. Shot 40% from the field, 6 of 31 from downtown, and 5 free throws all game.
Well, why doesn't KCP get DUIs anymore?
D what?
DUIs.
DUIs. Wow.
I mean, Contavious Caldwell-Pope played in an NBA game with an ankle bracelet on, and he spent 30 days in jail, and he had work release where he would go play in an NBA game with an ankle bracelet on, and then the bailiffs would put handcuffs on him and then take him back to jail.
I did not know that.
He did this for a month in the middle of an NBA season because he got five or four DUIs in a row. He just kept getting DUIs. He just didn't care.
Get a driver.
Yeah, just get a driver.
He was like
that level.
Yeah, it was like the third or fourth time. They're like, yeah, dude, you got to spend 30 days. He's like, well, it's mid-season, bro. And the LA prosecutor or the LA judge was like, well, I got a special case for you. You'll be able to leave the games to go to the Staples Center. Only home games. You can't play road games. You play home games at the Staples Center, but you'll sleep at LA Penitentiary.
Oh my God.
So you would show up like in like jail clothing, take it off, hop into Lakers gear, and like have an ankle bracelet on. And you'd see like the sidelines, there would be security guards making sure you wouldn't run.
Oh, this is Detroit.
Was it Detroit?
No, this is.
It was LA.
This is. Oh, it was like both Detroit and
oh, all right. So maybe I think the first couple of DUIs were probably Detroit. Next, because aren't DUIs felonies? I'm pretty sure no. I think DUIs are felonies. I think that's shit's on your. I think it also depends on the state because I'm pretty sure you can get them expunged.
Yeah.
If you're rich enough.
Yeah, and if you're young, because there's like OWIs.
My friend crashed his mom's car on like 3 Xans and like a bunch of coke and like drunk as shit. He had the same lawyers as Freddie Gray because his dad went to like high school with him, and he walked away. It's off his record away. He walked away. He was charged with 4 DUIs or something like that for every substance he was on. He walked away with just a driving while impaired on alcohol, and his car like exploded because he drove and like he was ejected through the sunroof because he didn't have a seatbelt on because he had a guardrail. And yeah, he walked away. It's now been 5 years, not on his record. Like if you search up, he'd never like crash. There you go. It's like you're a fuck.
So it happened in Detroit. He couldn't leave Michigan, and then he signs with the Lakers, and then he goes to court, and then that's when the sentencing.
So they just sentenced
in Michigan, actually, where he was sentenced to 25 days at Oakland County Jail in Michigan.
Oh, so you'd have to fly.
He immediately submitted a request to serve at Seal Beach, which might be in LA.
How amazed are you by?
They gotta get the blower in their car too. Just get a driver, dude. Figure it out. You're in the NBA. Sorry.
Contrary to popular belief, KCP didn't wear an ankle monitor while playing and serving his sentence. A viral Photoshop picture of him playing with one allegedly stemmed from the Lakers game in 2000.
All right, but he still played. I guess they didn't make him wear an ankle bracelet because like he was on TV.
That'd be a tough look.
I mean,
That's
I was just
the
saying.
NBA.
I was thinking. I don't think that matters. The ankle bracelet. I think what more matters is they didn't really need to track him like that. They could just turn on TNT.
You just point, yeah.
Yeah, you're just like that fucker.
Wow, good for him for. I guess no more DUIs.
I mean, Ty Lawson was another goat. He loved getting fucked up.
Yeah.
All right,
Denver legend.
Chris Paul got hurt. How bad is it? Also, Chris Paul got hurt mid-jump, contesting contesting a shot, I believe.
It was in the paint.
In the paint,
something he probably shouldn't have contested.
But it wasn't like he took an awkward jump. It just like he jumped and stretched his legs out and he pulled it. Maybe I'm just not understanding. Like most of the time when you see something pulled, they do like a move or something that you're like, oh, you kind of stretched too far there, bud. But like, is Chris Paul already at the age where he can't spread his legs farther than like an inch where they're naturally already set?
At this point in the season, it's looking like no. And if Chris Paul's, I think the Suns. I think you guys are right. The Suns are probably toast here if CP3 is banged up. Even if he's plays, if he's injured, man, they're pretty screwed. Their whole offense is iso ball with KD and Booker. And
are you mad if you're KD? If you're just like I left the Brooklyn Nets that actually had a fucking roster around me.
They didn't, but no, it probably sucks. I mean, if this, you can't really even get rid of Chris Paul, but
what do you mean? You can't get rid of the NBA
played...
Players Association's president?
The Nuggets played horrible. Other than Jokic, Jamal Murray went 0-9 from downtown and 3-15 from the field, and they still put up 87 points, 14 in the fourth, and lost the game. And I'm curious to hear now, once this series is over in probably 5, I'm excited for the Booker's not top 15 because it was never close. But yeah,
I think it's very similar to, they said right here, the Nets versus Celtics, and I think they're referring to a year ago when the Celtics swept the Nets. Yeah. And I really think the problem with this team, besides the overuse of iso ball, which just doesn't work. Like it works in the playoffs, but at the same time, it doesn't work in the playoffs if it's all you rely on. They have no shooting. First off, this was a team that we thought, hey, if they were going to have success in the playoffs, they're going to have to get to the free throw line. The fact that they barely got to the free throw line at all last game with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul as your guys, just disgraceful. Like that's part of the way. If you're going to win a game, you're going to have to get to the line.
And and the Nuggets don't have a big.
Yeah.
Or at least a rim player, rim protecting big rather. Like what domination is he actually, you know what he reminded me of when I was watching? He reminds me of Karl Anthony Towns. He's not good Karl Anthony Towns. He's a budget cat who just doesn't have energy, intensity, plays soft. He's always got a smirk when he fails. Like
who was a guy who recently left their team? Okay, no, someone said it this. I was talking with Luke and a couple of my buddies, and someone goes, DeAndre Ayton's the center version of Andrew Wiggins. They're just like, just wait till he gets traded to a team where he actually gets used right now. And I was like, I could see that where right now in Phoenix, they literally tell him, hey, DeAndre Ayton, we don't really want you dribbling. We don't want you doing this. All we want you to do is get rebounds. And if the shot's with a putback or within 5 feet, you got it. Don't do anything else.
He's a great mid-range shooter.
But they don't tell him not to do it.
But he takes a ton of mid-range shots all the time, and he makes them. He reminds me of Vucevic in the first quarter where it's like bang, 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 bang. He's on fire. And then you don't hear him for the rest of the game.
I just think DeAndre Ayton's a guy who's systematically limited with the Suns. And if he goes to a team where he's the number 1 or number 2 option.
But he's not. He's not either.
I think he's a number 2, maybe.
Shot.
I think he's a good. I think ideally he's a 3.
At this point, I don't even know. I don't even think he's the 3.
We don't really know because I feel like he's
do.
capped as a player.
He's
with the
not though,
Suns.
because they use him, and especially against the Nuggets with the drop coverage, they're pick and rolling all the time with Jokic, and he's scoring, he's doing his thing. He has no intensity on both sides of the ball,
Well,
and that's not going to change even if he goes to a team like the Indiana Pacers. Maybe his stats will increase. Like
I don't know,
Christian would
man.
on the
Miles Turner
Rockets.
looked really good, and like
Miles Turner plays intense basketball, and he actually does this thing called plays defense. DeAndre Ayton just kind of there.
look, I'm not a DeAndre Ayton fan, but I won't let you keep this DeAndre Ayton slander. But
You're the one slandering him.
I'm not slandering him, praising him, you goddamn hobo.
You're saying he's a number 2, number 3 option. He's
How's that
taking
slander? That's
shots.
fucking praise. That's fucking praise, you asshole.
He's taking, but you're saying they're limiting him when that's not entirely true. Everyone's gonna be limited especially when if Chris Paul's out. Yeah, you're totally right. Booker's not gonna pass the ball to Ayton. He's gonna take a highly contested, fading away, double teamed mid-range shot.
Well,
he's Kobe.
To move on from this horrendous talk of DeAndre Ayton, I want to talk about the fact that are we starting to see Bubble Murray and is Jamal Murray?
Murray just went 3 of 15 and 0-9 from downtown.
Yeah,
Are we watching the same games? I'm so confused here.
One bad
0-9 from downtown.
Okay, I just want to say one bad game. All right, one bad game.
Bubble Murray didn't have one bad game.
You think?
Yeah, I do.
Because listen to this. In 7 playoff games so far, 26 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, almost a steal a night. 39% from 3, 45.5% from the field. One bad game he had.
And they begged Phoenix to beat him. And Jamal Murray and his 10 points. They couldn't. And
Phoenix was like, no, we can't do this.
I know. I mean, first off, shout out. I mean, obviously Jokic being a fucking god, dropping 39 points. But Aaron Gordon and Contavious Caldwell-Pope really. First off, I didn't realize, like, when I was watching this game, I remember it was Christian Brown and Jeff Green. Also, Jeff Green had some really bad moments. I will say that. There was a couple times where, like, Jeff Green showed his age. Where I was just like, Jeff, damn, you clearly are like 33. But what up, Rocket News, Chris? But, yeah, I think the Nuggets played the worst game possible, but they didn't look that bad, if that makes sense.
I think they looked horrible. Except
I don't know, man.
They won the game. I think they looked bad, but they won the game.
I think
the thing is, like, if you can go out and beat a KD and a Devin Booker team with absolute garbage, you're a pretty good team.
Playoff basketball is when sloppy basketball starts, and it's when good teams play sloppy basketball, and it's whoever can win sloppy basketball. Like, it's like you're watching preseason basketball all over again, but in the playoffs. Preseason's horrible.
I'll give you the players who played well. Jokic, KCP, Aaron Gordon did okay, and Christian Brown.
Perfect. That's all they need for a win.
Aaron Gordon's
terrifying. The Phoenix Suns should be, especially with Chris Paul's injury, they should be very worried.
Yeah, sell the team.
No Landry Shamet.
They should have drafted Marvin Bagley with that first pick. That was the biggest regret ever. Who goes with Aiden at 1? Jeez.